Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Come on in. I'll get the door. Well, how are things going?
It's okay.
Oh, you don't look okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of going through a rough time right now.
Really?
Yeah.
How long has this been going on?
Kind of recent, ongoing. Just some school stuff, some parent stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you're living at home.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the, let's just do the school thing. What's going on? And by the way, how are you doing in school?
Okay. I don't really know what I'm doing or what path that I want to take, which is part of the problem. It's just causing a lot of stress and really eating at me.
Wow. So you've really been in a conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it's written all over your face.
Yeah.
You don't really look happy today. So there's a conflict with school, and you're saying, and it's related to your parents as well?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you give me a little background to that so I need to be on the same page with you.
Sure. So yeah, I went back to school because that's what everyone tells you that you need to do.
Right.
And that's what you need to do in order to be successful. And I live at home. My parents still support me and they're paying for school. And I just don't know what I want to do in my career, in my life. And they're just giving me so much struggle with, they want me to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, but I just have no desire to do that. And now they're threatening to kick me out because I've been living there the whole time, and it's eating me apart. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I don't know what to do.
So your whole body is now involved in this conflict. So what is it that they want you to be a doctor or a lawyer? They want you to be some type of professional, and what you're saying is that's not what you want.
No, and
Have you thought about what you want?
I have. I just don't. I don't know what I want to go to school for. I don't even know if I want to go to school. But I know it's something that I should do and that everyone tells me that I need to do.
Well, in as much as you're just starting school and yet you're not able to really get a grasp of your future, the present is really important. What you're doing right now is just kind of getting your, general ed requirements out of the way.
Yeah.
But more important, it sounds to me like if you don't define what your goal is with your family, they're going to kick you out.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
That creates
That's
a
what
lot
they
of
said.
tension.
Yeah.
Have you thought about your needs, the things that you want?
Not really.
Have you thought about what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are? If you've not done well in science and math and all of that, good chance you're not going to go into medical or some other type of health science kind of a situation.
Yeah. I guess I'm just worried that I'm not good enough, and I haven't really thought about what my strengths are.
So you've been evaluating yourself and you come up as I'm inadequate, I'm not good enough?
Yeah.
How much of this conflict is weighing on your head that's keeping you from being successful?
I guess a lot.
It's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you're so involved in the conflict that you really can't see the forest through the trees.
Yeah.
But there's another part of this too. And that is if you live your life for your family, there's a really good chance you're going to be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can't be authentic with ourselves and meet somebody else's needs and then try to be happy.
Makes sense.
That doesn't make for a happy life.
Yeah.
So I think it really comes down to how open are you with your family, your mom and dad? How open are you with them?
We try to be somewhat open. I guess there's a little tension there. I don't tell them everything.
Uh-huh. Who are you closest to in your family constellation? Mom, dad?
Probably my mom.
Uh-huh. Have you and your mom ever sat down together and said, where you say, hey, Mom, I'm really confused right now. I can't see the forest through the trees. You have some demands for me. I have my own kind of needs, or at least that your demands don't feel right for me. And I don't want to upset you and Dad, but I'm not happy. And I can't live my life, you know, doing what you want me to do and be the person. I mean, you can't live your life through me either, you know?
No, but it sounds like a good idea. I've never had a talk like that with her before.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I really had a heart to heart with either of them.
And tell me about your dad. What kind of a guy is he?
Very strict, hardworking. He's a lawyer himself. That's why he wants me to go down that path as well.
I got it. He wants you to follow in his footsteps.
Yeah.
That won't make you happy either.
No.
But do you and your dad get along?
Yeah, as much as we can, I guess.
Uh-huh.
We don't fight that much.
Uh-huh. And how about your parents? Are they a good unit? Are they?
They fight sometimes. There's a little turmoil.
Everybody fights. There's
Yeah.
no perfect family constellation or family unit. Everybody fights. Everybody has, issues and conflicts.
Yeah.
But it's how we resolve those issues and conflicts.
Yeah.
And so with you, I'm thinking that you're really a good soul. We've spent time together. I know your heart, and I know that you're not a mean-spirited person. But more importantly, if you don't find yourself in this process, you won't be happy. But more importantly, since you're under the aegis, or under your parents' roof, if you will, and their support, I'm sure that they want to feel like you're on the right track, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But the right track means what's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really important is that the track you take has to really reflect who you are in life.
Mm-hmm.
It can't reflect somebody else or somebody else's vision of you. It has to reflect who you are. But given your age and your lack of experience in life, and in post-secondary education, I think it's really important that you kind of start to feel your way through this. And the first 2 years of college anyway are your general ed stuff. But within those courses that you take, those survey courses, they give you a little taste of everything. It's like being at a buffet. And from there you get to kind of get a sense of what's interesting to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It really does. And that's why they offer the general ed process, because it gives our kids, our students, an opportunity, not just kids, but folks like yourself as well, the opportunity to really evaluate by being in these different classes, these survey classes, to see if you want to go further and explore further.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I didn't start out in psychology. I started out as in theater arts, actually. And I as I was going through in my sophomore year, I realized, hey, I'm not happy. I was doing this in high school, but I'm not happy now. And I realized that it was more important for me to have a career where I felt I was making a change for myself and a change in my community and in life.
So should I just keep trying new classes to see what I do well in and what I like?
Well, I think you've got to take a certain amount of courses in order to transfer to a 4-year school.
Yeah.
And I think that while you're taking these classes, something is going to pop up. Inevitably, it really does. And because you don't need to declare your major in the first 2 years anyway. You need to take the survey courses, get the general ed out of the way, and then you'll get into your upper division work. But the most important thing at this point is how you resolve the conflict at home, because that's where you live.
So, okay, so should I just talk to my mom, or What else do you think I
I
should
really
do?
think you need an ally at home.
Okay.
And that oftentimes, makes the situation a lot smoother because mom can then talk to dad and say, you're really upset, you're really not happy, you're not sleeping, you're not fulfilling your own needs. Even though you may not know what they are, at least you'll get some buy-in from your folks so that you're not hanging out all alone. Because my sense of what you brought me today is that you really feel alone and isolated in the situation.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that when you have the support of your family, it takes that isolation and that aloneness away. It really does.
I would love that.
And if your parents are really on board with this whole thing, you have to tell them as well, Mom, Dad, I can't live your life. I can't live my life, or you can't live your life through me. I have to find my own path.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just hard sometimes.
Well, it's hard because what you're doing is trying to work this out in your head. You're trying to resolve the conflict in your head. And remember, we can't do that because the only inputs you're giving yourself, it's like an endless loop, is what you know.
Yeah.
But what if your folks come and say to you, now that we hear you, now that we understand, we're willing to work with you. But you have to give them the opportunity. Because if you try to resolve this conflict on your own, what's going to happen inevitably is that you're going to fail. Because conflict resolution really requires more input and evaluation, but it requires support as well. And in this situation, you need their support because that's what they're doing for you. And it sounds like they're not bad people. They sound like really nice folks.
Yeah,
who are really busy with their life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And did they do this with your siblings as well, or is it just you?
I'm the oldest, so I think they're just.
So all the energy and all the attention is focused on you because you're the model for the other kids, right?
I guess so.
What do you think so? Of course you are. So what do you think about this buy-in?
It sounds great. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and talk to him.
Yeah, let me tell you what I think it looks like. Here's your folks' needs for you. Here are your own needs for you. And here's the continuum. And you're somewhere in the middle, vacillating back and forth. But you really don't know what they're willing to do with you. You don't know what they're willing to, or how they're willing to help you further. And then you're afraid they're going to withdraw support. Isn't that the bottom line?
Yeah.
Okay. So the only thing that I think that you have to do is to tell them that you're motivated to be in the mix. You're motivated to be the best version of yourself. You certainly have the equipment to do it, but you need to communicate with them. Most conflict, I find, is when we see both ends of the spectrum here, and we're vacillating in the middle, but we're afraid to communicate. We're afraid to assert ourselves and say, Mom, Dad, can we have a sit down and talk about this? Because I've just been miserable.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad we were able to kind of put this together today. And the other thing is I really enjoy working with you. So in the future, don't hesitate to really come forward. And I think the other thing is this, in college, in school, it's a growth experience. We're kind of coming into the world on our own. And I think it's how we test ourselves, test the waters of life. And I think that by being more assertive and being able to really come up and say, this is who I am and this is what I need, you're not offending anybody. You're just defining who you are. And in life, that's really important. Because no matter what you major in, no matter what you become in life, you're always going to be you. And I think at the end of the day, you have to remember that. And when I say you're always going to be you, you have to feel comfortable and satisfied with who you are.
Yeah.
And conflict is is resolvable when we communicate
Mm-hmm.
in an open and honest and goal-oriented way.
Mm. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
You're really welcome, and I'm so glad to have been able to have been of service today.